Adonai tzori v'goali. Last Wednesday was an interesting day. It was Yom Ha'atzmaut, and in the evening we had here a hustings, one of the first, so we will have two, and one was for our Wandsworth Council congregants, and so we had the first one on Wednesday. And we had some discussions about the evening. In general, the feeling was it was a good discussion, but something left me unsettled. It was not because people disagreed with one another. Disagreement I can live with, and in our tradition we often find it is actually the very engine of growth. What unsettled me was something quieter and more corrosive. The ease with which some people reached for category instead of a person. As I said there during the hustings we hosted for Wandsworth, listening to voices from both within and outside our community, I heard the language of silhouettes, refugees taking housing, men failing society, Muslims, Zionists, each one a shape, a label, something to be managed, feared, or blamed. I noticed how the room would sometimes lean in slightly when these labels were used, as if the simplification offered a kind of collective relief. There's a particular comfort in we and them. It tidies the complicated world. It tells you where the danger lives, and it tells you by implication that you are not the problem. There were people in that room or here in the sanctuary making a philosophical case for this, arguing that we have emphasized individual identity so much that we have lost the ability to see what we share. Their solution was to think less in terms of individuals and more in terms of groups. Cleaner lines, a simpler map. But as I listened, I kept thinking about our Torah portion for this Shabbat. In the very heart of Leviticus, Vayikra, we find the portion of Kedoshim. It opens with a summons that defines our entire spiritual purpose. Kedoshim tiyu ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohim. You shall be holy, for I, the eternal, your God, am holy. It is a verse addressed to Kol Adat B'nai Yisrael, the entire community, all at once. Yet the Torah immediately moves from the communal you to the most startling specific instructions. Holiness, it turns out, is not an attribute we possess or a status we achieve. It is not a static quality like the color of our eyes. It is the grammar of the Torah. Holiness is a verb. It is an act. When the Torah begins listing what this holiness requires, it does not offer grand, abstract theories. It is almost embarrassingly specific. When you harvest your field, do not clear every corner. Leave something, not for an abstract category of the poor, but for the specific person, the ger, the stranger, the widow, the orphan, who will come and clean what you left behind. The holiness is in the particular act for a particular human being whose hunger is real and whose dignity the Torah is determined to protect. This is where the philosophical argument I heard on Wednesday falls short. The Torah does not ask us to sacrifice the individual for the sake of the group. Rather, it suggests that the holiness of the community is found precisely in its ability to recognize the individual within the mass. It is the refusal to see a refugee and the insistence on seeing them as a person. It is the refusal to see man as a monolith and the insistence on seeing the Tselem Elohim, the divine reflection, immanent in every single face. What was absent from Wednesday's hustling was not better policy or more efficient budget management. It was a vision. I found myself longing for someone to ask not just how we balance the books over the next 4 years, but what kind of community we are actually trying to build. I wanted a politician to dream big again. I wanted to hear someone say that the trans person, the asylum seeker, and the long-standing neighbor are not problems to be solved, but people whose presence make our society more whole. Allow me for a short moment to make a big jump away from Wandsworth to Israel as we mark this Shabbat, also Yom Ha'atzmaut, which was last Wednesday. For me, Zionism, at its most honest, is an amazing vision, a dream that never ceased to inspire. Zionism was never meant to be just a political machinery of a state. It was an original, stubborn insistence that a Jewish society could embody a prophetic vision. The Declaration of Independence, signed 78 years ago, remains our standard. It commits the state to complete equality of social and political rights to all its inhabitants, irrespective of religion, race, or sex. Those are not warm words for a ceremony. They are a demand placed on every generation. Israel at 78 is a country in profound tension with that dream. We see a fragile ceasefire in the north and the south, a region that remains deeply broken, and a society fractured from within. But the answer to this reality is not to lower our expectation or to abandon the vision because the reality is painful. The answer is to hold the dream more fiercely. Not through a naive loyalty, but through a demanding, holy love that insists on seeing the humanity of everyone living between the borders of the land of the state of Israel. The Torah does not present holiness as an achieved state. Kedoshim to you is the future tense. You shall be holy. It is a direction. Become. Keep becoming. We do this in the dailiness of how we treat the person at the edges of our field, the person in the room who makes us uncomfortable, and the person whose claim on our compassion might cost us something. Holiness is the act of seeing. It is the refusal to other the other. This Shabbat, may we find the strength to look past the silhouettes and labels. May we become a community that dreams big, that seeks the divine in the face of the stranger, and that never tires of the work of actually becoming holy. Shabbat Shalom and Yom Ha'atzmaut Sameach.